Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In this video, we're going to be going through the Beatitudes from Matthew 5, 1 through 12. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. Let's go. So, the Beatitudes, the path of blessedness. So the Beatitudes form the opening of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount and introduce the values of the kingdom of heaven. They reveal the attitudes and qualities God honors, contrasting worldly definitions of success and happiness. Jesus' teaching here sets the stage for how Christians are to live under God's rule. Context of the sermon. Matthew 5 through 7 records the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus' first major teaching, which lays out the ethical and spiritual framework for life in God's kingdom. This sermon presents how God's people should live and behave. The mountain setting recalls Moses on Mount Sinai, linking Jesus to the giving of God's law. Yet Jesus exceeds Moses in authority and fulfillment, providing the ultimate revelation of God's will. So let's get started here. So verses 1 and 2, the audience and posture. So when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. He opened his mouth and began to teach them. So here, Jesus chooses a mountain to teach, symbolizing divine revelation. Sitting emphasizes his authority as a teacher, while the larger crowd watches. His disciples receive his words personally, highlighting both the communal witness of his teaching and the personal call to obedience. Verse 3, Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. This beatitude emphasizes humility and recognition of spiritual need. Those who acknowledge their dependence on God are truly blessed, as they receive both this kingdom of grace now and the kingdom of glory in eternity. Being poor in spirit means being aware of one's insufficiency apart from God and longing for his redemption. Verse 4, Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. So here, Jesus honors those who grieve over sin, injustice, and the brokenness of the world. Godly sorrow leads to repentance, spiritual growth, and dependence on God. Though mourners experience pain in the present, they are promised comfort and joy in the fulfillment of God's kingdom, reflecting the truth that the path to heaven often passes through a veil of tears. Verse 5, Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So meekness involves humility, gentleness, and patience under provocation, trusting God rather than asserting oneself. Under provocation, trusting God rather than asserting oneself. The meek do not seek worldly power, but remain steadfast under trials. God promises that the meek will inherit the earth, echoing Psalm 37:11 and showing that true blessing is not measured by worldly gain, but by God's favor and ultimate justice. Verse 6, Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. So, righteousness here includes personal holiness and the establishment of God's justice in the world. Those who earnestly desire to live according to God's will and to see his kingdom reflected on earth will find satisfaction. Spiritual longing, like physical hunger and thirst, points to a deep, God-given desire that God promises to fulfill. Verse 7, Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Mercy is an act of compassion, both in responding to the suffering of others and seeking to restore those who have gone astray. God rewards those who extend mercy, reflecting his own character. Mercy is a kingdom principle. As we know, as we show mercy to others, we demonstrate that we belong to God's family and participate in his work of restoration. Verse 8, Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Purity of heart refers to moral integrity, sincerity, and single-minded devotion to God, not just ritual observance. Only the pure are capable of fully experiencing God's presence and entering into communion with him. This beatitude emphasizes that true holiness and happiness are inseparable, and that purity enables believers to behold God both now and in eternity. Verse 9, Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Peacemakers actively pursue reconciliation, prevent conflict, and restore relationships when they are broken. By reflecting God's character and promoting harmony and love, peacemakers are recognized as his children. This beatitude highlights the importance of not just avoiding conflict, but taking initiatives to foster peace in personal, social, and spiritual spheres. Verse 10 through 12. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Rejoice and be glad. So here, Jesus teaches that suffering for the sake of righteousness is an honor in God's kingdom. Persecution reflects faithfulness, aligning believers with the prophets of old who were likewise mistreated. Those who endure insult or hardship because of their allegiance to Christ are promised a great reward in heaven, encouraging rejoicing even in trials. So, just a quick summary of the Beatitudes. So the Beatitudes are an outline. They outline 8 characteristics of kingdom life: humility, godly sorrow, meekness, spiritual hunger, mercy, purity, peacemaking, and faithfulness under persecution. Each is linked with a promise, showing that true blessing comes from God's favor, not worldly success. They reveal a radical countercultural vision of happiness and set the ethical and spiritual standards for the Christian life. So an application for the Beatitudes. So the Beatitudes are a blueprint for living a kingdom-centered life today. Believers are called to cultivate humility, repentance, meekness, spiritual longing, mercy, purity, peacemaking, and steadfastness under persecution. Applying these principles lead to joy, peace, and assurance of God's rewards. The Beatitudes challenge Christians to pursue eternal values over worldly recognition and to live in alignment with God's will. So guys, that's going to do it for the video. Another short one today. But again, maybe if I slow down on how fast I speak, it'll be better. But I apologize for that, guys. But anyways, nonetheless, that does it for the video. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video, and follow me on Instagram, link in the description. Bye, guys.